Yo, and we back for another video, and this time it's the reaction to the internet of Nolan's casting in the Odyssey. Odyssey has already been controversial because we're looking at very strange choices in dialogue, which is inaccurate, choices in costumes that are inaccurate, and my views on Nolan is that he just makes good movies. They're not exactly accurate, but they're good movies. Now, I've seen parts of movies where, if the movie's good, you don't really you see right past all the inaccuracies and the strange casting. And I thought this movie will be good. Because some of the inaccuracies I've seen, like Oppenheimer, flags, wrong type of stars and flags and stuff like that, they didn't really take me out of the movie. Having a black lady being race swapped, a white lady being race swapped with a black lady, if she acts good and the movie's good, wow, no one would notice. But I think right now we're all in uproar, like, oh, you race swap this person, it's all woke. Let's see what Whoopi Goldberg has to say.
That Christopher Nolan has cast Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy in the big screen version of the Greek poet Homer's epic, The Odyssey. Now, Musk claims that Nolan has lost his integrity. Ooh, because Homer described this fictional character as fair-skinned blonde who was so beautiful that men started a war over here. I don't know if you realize this. Lupita is also considered one of the world's most beautiful women. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say. You don't actually have to go to the movie.
Yeah, what does he care?
You don't. Well, I don't know why you feel like you need to speak on this. And I would suggest looking in a mirror if you have any concerns about people's looks, if this is where we're going. And don't bother to try to clown me, baby. I know what I look like. There's so many things.
The way Whoopi Goldberg is pointing this is as if Elon Musk has a problem with Lupita Nyong'o, whatever her name. I butchered her name. He doesn't have a problem with her. He has a problem with the casting and the race swapping. The way Whoopi Goldberg is framed as if this guy is kind of racist because she's black. It was just the race swapping he has a problem with. That's what I'm looking at. And I feel like you could be very careful when you start going out there and accusing people of having these views where he's just like, well, you race swap someone. That's what Elon said, that you race swap someone in a story which we know was described as a woman being fair skinned. He didn't say that. No, he didn't say, oh well, no black people should be put in any movies. He didn't say things like that. He didn't say the woman was ugly. He just said the woman was described in a certain way and you race swapped her. That's why you lost all integrity. That's what he said. And the way it's being framed is this guy is overtly racist right now. Let's have a look at here. If you think Helen of Troy cannot be black, you don't know history, the presenter said. Miss Hostin added, there had long been an academic debate over the extent of which ancient Egyptian and North American societies shaped Greek mythologies and civilization. The presenter also referred to her experience teaching Greek mythology to 8th grade students, saying she had discussed such debates in the classroom. Arguments around the Black Athena have remained controversial within academic circles for decades. Now, this woman's not ugly. I don't know talking about, whoa, she's ugly. Nothing wrong with her. You know what I mean? But you have to go with what you've been hearing as a description, and that's not it. He's going against the grain here. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what the comments are saying. Because people use it. Let's see. Because people use it to try and change history, which is rather pathetic. Trying to be part of ours. See, some Greek people don't really like the fact that things have been changed to that extent. I remember there was a Netflix show where they were changing mythology, or not mythology, but they were changing where they were trying to make it look like black people made the pyramids, and the Egyptians weren't having none of it. They were pissed. They were pissed. And this is kind of like the same thing. Let's see. No, Homer referred to her as white-skinned. You are applying a modern perspective as it suits a modern narrative. There we go. You know, you have to stop. People are a bit upset where people start taking people's cultures and trying to inject themselves into it. That's where I feel that these people are really being riled up. Especially the Greek people. The same way where people were that Netflix show where they're upset where the Egyptians were being like cast out and like, oh well, black people built the pyramids. Like the Egyptians like, nope, you ain't taking credit for that. And you have to really be careful. Like if it was a story about black people, like let's say a Martin Luther King story, and you started injecting random people into it that didn't exist, or even if they did exist, you started race swapping them to suit your own narrative. That's it. But it's the way the world is these days. They change things where they make characters that weren't gay, and white characters black. That's the way we are. That's the woke world we are in right now. And you just have to pull up with it. You're like, don't tell me this character's gay. Like, yep. But I've seen characters that are in comic book movies. They want a sniff of these characters being gay, but they kind of like intertween a gay narrative in there. Like I watched Gotham. They're trying to make Penguin and the Riddler into some sort of gay relationship. I was like, what? Why is this here? Why? You know, they were hinting on it, but you know, it's one of those things where, you know, it's just something you expect these days when you watch TVs and movies. They always have this gay narrative they want to push in. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'm out.